Hello, Snugglebugs. Welcome to today's Hearthstone video. We're coming at you with the top 5 decks since the mini set. These should be the decks that you could use to climb to Legend in the month of June. Now, sometimes after, obviously, cards are released, a patch could be coming in the next few weeks, so take that with a grain of salt. In number 5, we have the Relic Demon Hunter, and I should also state right off the hop that all of these are Diamond through Legend in the higher ranks, so if you're looking for more information on some bronze to gold information, go to hsreplay.net in the description box below. So yeah, we have the Relic Demon Hunter. Not much has changed about this deck really since it came out last year. It's just a overall good board-based deck with some tempo, damage, and then of course Lady's Theto for some of that burst damage that you're looking for. The deck is pretty straightforward. You play the relics, you upgrade them. You have your endgame bomb, Artificer Zymox, apologies, to try to help you draw a bunch of cheap cards to play them and just overwhelm your opponent. The number 4 deck, probably no surprise to anybody, is the Totem Shaman. It is a very powerful deck, very aggressive early, gets a bunch of board stuff out, then you can buff them all with either your Bloodlusts or things like your Stone Rights, Rot Guilds, and just push face for a lot of damage. It has big, giant totems, Gigant totems, I guess is what they're called, for some big boss minions in the deck. Some value when it comes to Amalgam of the Deep and Schooling, and overall, that just allows this deck to be good super early, super fast, but also have some of that potential for mid-game, more so than late game. And it allows, in my opinion, a archetype that has always been kind of on the radar, but never good, to have been shining the last few months. So the number 3 deck currently that I would recommend using to climb right now is the Enraged Warrior. And as you can see, I actually don't have all the cards for it. It's a deck I've never tried out, so if you'd like to see me give it a go and learn it a bit, let me know in the comments down below. And as well as hit the subscribe button to stay notified when that video comes up, if and when the community would like to see it. But this this deck has a lot of aggressive tendencies into it. You kind of survive a little early. Really the big oomph, if you will, is you get out the, I'm trying to look for them, the Anima Extractors and the Sun Fury Champion, and cast like a simple fire spell to do AoE and buff all the minions in your hand by a lot. If you have a big board of like 4 or 5 minions, cast a fire spell, then both of your Anima Extractors will give like a minion in your hand, like, you know, plus 20. You play a giant Remornia and hit them in the face with a big weapon, or Grommash, or Decimator. All valid targets. I think one of the things about Enraged Warrior that maybe turns myself away from playing it, to be quite honest, as well as others, is even though this has a good win rate, I actually feel like this is one of the ones with the higher skill ceiling compared to some of the other ones on this list. It's not super straightforward all the time. You can actually make quite a bit of mistakes by playing things in the wrong order. And because of that, I actually think it would be really fun to play. Fun to learn. It would take more than a couple of games. And yeah, so if you enjoy this, let me know. And because if you enjoy this, let me know in the comments down below. It's definitely a deck that I've been seeing playing against a lot more recently and is growing in favor. Another deck that's actually been growing in favor a lot lately, especially since the mini set has come out, is this number 2 deck, the Big Beast / Hybrid Hunter, with the secrets and the costume singers. And more, I would say importantly, that kind of allows this deck to compete is Hollow Hound. The meta was so aggressive with Undead Priest, Totem Shaman, honestly even some Paladins and things of that nature, that Frost Death Knights, that Beast Hunter just couldn't survive long enough, and now they have this sort of mixed package that gives them that good enough early game to try to defend, and then some comeback potential with the Hollow Hound. As seen on my channel recently, the Hollow Hound plays a huge role against aggro deck, and I think that just gives this more of a well-rounded win rate percentage. And for that reason, I think that this is it's a deck with a lot of legendaries and a lot of big cost stuff in it. But if you're someone who has the dust, I personally always enjoy it. I think Beast Hunter is kind of always up there, has been for the last few years off and on, so it's a pretty safe bet to go with. And like I said, I personally like the tempo style, like early, mid, and late game style deck. So this is one to keep your eyes on, and hope you enjoy it as much as I do. The number 1 deck, probably to no surprise to anybody, again, kind of has been on top really for a long, long time. This is, I believe, as of time of recording, the only tier 0 deck, the only tier, the one that effectively has a positive win rate against pretty much every other deck, and that is pure Paladin. It's similar to what I said about Hunter. It's good early, mid, and late game. I think it honestly just does a lot of those things slightly better. Now, I guess with all of its buffs, with all of the ways it can buff its minions, it has that ability to keep minions on the board. And then the issue is if you let them keep 1 or 2 minions on the board, that sometimes is enough to just win. You couldn't see my hand there, but to push for victory, because all of a sudden they hit them with I'm not going to go through them all, I guess, but they have the Disco Maul, which can cause some big buffs, and Punk Fin for the additional couple damage on minions with Divine Shields. And they just push through, and they hit you with unexpected, well, I guess not, I don't want to say completely unexpected damage, because they have to set up the Disco Maul, but damage that you can't necessarily stop super well. And that just, I think, allows it to come out with their free light rays and their countess, and they have draw power with the Purator, and it seems like they have enough of everything to make it so this will be on top, I think, for the foreseeable future, unless they make some drastic changes, or maybe even when the new set comes out in a couple of months. I think usually around August, that might be enough to shake things up if Paladin doesn't get a ton of benefits there. So those are the top 5. Honestly, though, without getting too deep into it, I probably could have made this a top 10 right now, other than maybe Pure Paladin up on the screen here. The meta actually feels not too bad. There's a lot of decks and archetypes and different types, both aggro, tempo, control, combo, that are all over the 50% win rate. Like I said, I always try to get 1,000 games plus played, Diamond through Legend, just to make sure there's a good sample size. So there's actually quite a few decks that can work, and they're all around the 50 to 52%. A couple a little higher, like Pure Paladin, I think up around 56. But overall, I think the meta is actually in a better spot than it's been. For example, I won't drag this on too long, but as an example, I know for a while, Frost Death Knight was to the point where I would try to make videos that I just couldn't enjoy it, because it was 3 out of every 4 games were Frost Death Knight, and I almost just started surrendering in order to get good gameplay kind of thing, and I just haven't felt that way recently. So again, if you feel differently, let me know. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.